Jumbo check. It wasn't easy, but nothing is. No. When I feel heavy metal, and I feel that I need when I lie and I'm easy all of the time, but I'm never sure why I need you. Please I need you. When I was young, it's not my problem. It's not my problem. When I feel heavy metal, and I feel that I need when I lie and I'm easy all of the time, but I'm never sure why I need you. Please I need you.
Why you all in my face, taking up all of my space? You should get out of my way, you should get out of my way. Don't tell me what I should do, I'ma do what I want anyway. Don't really care what you think, you should get out of my way.
What up, what up, what up, what up? What up, fellas? Josh, what it do? Yeah, it was a long break. But that was y'all doing. That was all y'all doing. That was y'all wanted to break. And, you know, like I always say, I'll go by what the temperature of the room is. So if y'all wanted to break, the break we got. You know, but it was well deserved. I can tell you this would happen though. We didn't go to full throttle like we normally do, because you got to remember, BAP has started the college league before Madden had even dropped. You know what I mean? Even when Madden dropped, they still had a couple of I wasn't in the college league, you know, but they had a college league, the NCAA, and they had some seasons in that. So when you combine that with the Madden league with WIT and AGS, you looking at because WIT had about what, 6 seasons, 7 again? No, about 7. AGS had about 5, maybe 6. And then college had about 4, and you add that up. Those some big numbers, you know. So people got burnt out a little earlier than they normally would because it was the college thing that went down. But you know, we still had enough seasons in for people to make noise. You know, at the end of the day, like, you know, it's not like we only got 3 seasons in. We still got enough seasons in where it was still good. I mean, I still have fun. But listen, at the end of the day, when it comes to Madden 25, I didn't really have no issues with it. I actually liked it, you know, because I mean, at this point, you got to remember, they're never going to make a game that's going to be 100% perfect. Because if they did, what are you looking forward to for the next one? So they're always going to leave room for improvement, you know. So for me, my expectations, I don't look for a perfect game. I just look for certain things. But I tell you this, that Madden 25, it definitely came a long way than what it was. And this 26, I ain't gonna front, this 26 is kind of ill. The movement on here, you know, it's pretty smooth. You know, I like this. I like 26. You know, I mean, I ain't really got no issues with it. You know, again, it's a couple of things that could be tweaked. I mean, but we all know they stay putting out patches anyway. So whatever issues that's going on right now, it'll be some patches out for it. But all in all, I think the game is pretty dope. You know, I'm looking forward to competing once again, and I hope you all doing the same. But man, I ain't do a fifth in a minute. Yeah, I mean, you know, And that's what I'm saying. There's always going to be something that you feel like the game should have, you know, at the end of the day. So, you know, it is what it is at this point. But yeah, I've been seeing the lists that you guys put together, and you guys got to understand this. The reason why we asked y'all to send multiple teams, in this case, it was 6 or 7 we asked for, and that's to give me room to play with setting up these divisions. Because if I ask everybody for 3 teams, you know, and you got 10 guys with the same 3 teams, it's like, where do we go? You know, and I'm not gonna lie, even with the amount of teams that we asked for now, it's still a lot of y'all with kind of like the same teams written down once again. But again, I always said, y'all know I try to do things a certain way, and the one thing I try to look for is balance. I try to balance leagues out, divisions out, pardon me. I try to balance divisions out as much as I can, the conference and the division. Now, I think I did a pretty good job last Madden, except one. The only division that I dropped the ball on, and I know what happened. You know, it wasn't just that I missed it. I know what happened. It was the AFC West. I had Murph in there all by his lonely, you know, who was just, you know, sweeping the division every year with nobody to even think about, you know, challenging him. And again, I know why that happened, you know, but at the end of the day, I'm going to make sure that don't happen again. You know, you know, sometimes I can put faith in guys more than they put faith in themselves. You know, you got to understand, some people only front runners when they able to exploit a cheese in the game. You know, at the end of the day, just because you exploit a cheese don't mean that, you know, you need to start beating your chest, because you get exposed when you're no longer able to exploit the cheese. So again, I dropped the ball. I take the hit on that. I gave Murph what's the other NBA? What's the NBA league? The G League. I gave Murph that G League division. That's on me, but it won't happen again. Shout out to Murph too, if Murph is listening. Murph, what up, Kiko? But listen, we're gonna make sure these conferences and divisions is balanced out. If you end up with a team that's 4th or 5th on your list, it's nothing personal. It's just that I'm just trying to set up the division a certain way. So I might have gave you that team to put you in a division with a certain somebody. You understand what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. I'm not giving a guy a team because I'm saying I'm holding a grudge. I don't hold no grudges. As a commissioner, I'm not allowed to hold a grudge, because then that's when the biasness will kick in. And as y'all know, y'all can never call me out for being biased or you know what I'm saying, doing some shady stuff. I run it down the middle as much as I can. And I'm not gonna never let something that happened in the past affect my decision making moving forward. So it's nothing never personal, because if it was that personal, y'all have seen me go live and boot guys on the live. So you know I don't have no problem booting guys. If I boot guys while I'm live, I can boot guys just from the chat. So if I'm reaching out to you to be a part of the league, you know I ain't got no personal issues with you. So don't take it personal if you don't get your first, second team. I'm just trying to balance things out. But this is why we ask you guys to send multiple teams so we can have room to play with. You know, I don't want nobody feeling slighted. You know, the one thing I do take in mind though, if you somebody who I feel like never get the team that he asked for, I keep that in mind and I try to work with that as much as I can. Meaning, if I don't give you your first, I'll definitely try to give you your second, because I don't want you to feel like, yo, dag, man, we always send in 5 or 6 teams and I'm always getting my 5th or 6th pick. You know, I don't want nobody feeling like that neither. But again, I'm just trying to make the league competitive. At the end of the day, you know, it's just about balancing it out. You know, so again, I don't take it personal if you get your 4th, 5th, or 6th pick. You know, that's why you should never write teams down who you don't never want to play with. You know, write teams down who you can see yourself playing with. You know, they may not be the top of the food chain for you, but at the end of the day, if you get them, you be like, all right, cool. You know, we're gonna make it work. You know, and y'all know, I preach this because I live it. I'm on that type of time. I remember when Claw used to tell me like, yo, bro, why you don't be taking, you know, certain teams, whatever. He like, why you always taking, you know what I mean? Because I always put myself second. When I'm putting this list together, like right now, I don't even have a team right now. To be honest with you, I don't even have a team. And I should, right? Because I'm a commish. So I should have a team, but I don't. And the reason why I don't, because if I need to balance a division out, I'll step back and take another team for myself to be in that division, to make that division tougher. You understand what I'm saying? Opposed to just saying, yo, nah, screw that. I'm keeping this team. And now you got a division with three dudes who never make the play. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't even put myself first. You know, I mean, again, I enjoy playing. I enjoy competing and all of that. But at the end of the day, I ain't getting paid for this. So I ain't taking this, you know, to the grave. You know what I mean? So it ain't that deep, you know? So again, I'm flexible. So no, I don't have a team yet. You know what I mean? I don't have a team. Yeah, I got about 4 or 5 teams that I'm looking at, but you know, I'll figure it out. I'll figure out which way to go sooner or later. It's funny you say that. The Giants is on my list. You know, that is a team that's on my list. You know, I don't know who I'm taking, but that's a team on my list. I got several teams that I'm looking at. Giants is definitely one of them. You know, and we're gonna see what's what though. You know, we're gonna see what's what. You know, hopefully you guys, this break did y'all some justice. You know, it made you feel like, yo, all right, cool. I'm ready to get back in the ring. As far as when we starting, because I was asked that earlier, I know they just put a patch out, but from what I'm hearing, it's a bigger patch getting ready to come. You know, now again, we don't necessarily probably have to wait for that other patch, especially if it don't come. Let's say if it come, they say it's coming in a month. Now I'm looking to start before a month, so I won't wait for that. And besides, most of the patches that come, you know, it gets implemented during the franchise anyway. You know, but at the same time, I don't like to just jump out the window all fast, because you know, exactly. They ain't even do the roster cuts yet. And remember, you see the big move that was just happened yesterday with Parsons, you know what I'm saying, getting traded. So it's like, imagine if we was a league that was thirsty just to get out there. You know, we would have missed out on the Parsons situation. So, you know, did it change my team list, or are you saying others that might have sent it? If it changed my team list, nah, I didn't. You know, Bap told me he gotta send me some revised lists with people's teams, so I'm pretty sure the package moved up on a lot of people's lists. But I'm gonna be real with you. There are quite a few guys who had the package down for like their second choice already. You know, so I'm not even gonna sit up here in front like whoever got the package now all of a sudden. Nah, ain't all of a sudden. Some dudes already had the package, and to be honest with you, the Packers got a pretty solid team without Parsons. You know, adding Parsons just make them even more attractive. I mean, let's be honest. You know, you got him on one side and you got Gary on the other. You know, so at the end of the day, man, the Packers is looking even more attractive. But they was already attractive without Parsons, and guys definitely had the Packers on their list. So I ain't never gonna get up here and start freestyling and acting like all of a sudden now guys like the Packers. Nah, there are dudes that had the Packers already. So Packers was already being looked at. But of course, you expect them to be looked at even more now with Parsons. That was a power move. But I'm not gonna lie to you though. The Cowboys got what, 3 or 4 firsts now? You know, that's something to play with, you know, and that's good for them because yeah, they got 2 firsts from the Packers, and I mean, my thing is like at the end of the day now, the Cowboys got that's a good team to build with, because I don't think they cap room was too impressive, you know. So, you know, when you ain't really got too much cap room, you need picks, because, you know, these guys be on rookie contracts. But I hear you, Josh. You know what I'm saying? I listen. I respect how you move. You know, I can relate to that. You know, real recognize real. I'm the same way. I rock with anybody. You know, but I just feel like I try to give guys, especially if you was playing with the team from last Madden. You know, I definitely try to look at that and keep that in mind. You know, because my thing is, if you was somebody that was playing with a team last Madden and nobody's really checking for them, and all of a sudden now this Madden they become popular, and now you got multiple guys that want that team, I got an issue with taking that away from the guy who want them again. That you know what I'm saying? Like, if a guy had him when they wasn't popular, I kind of got an issue with taking him away now and giving him to somebody else because they are popular. You know, like for instance, like the Steelers, right? Pearl been rocking with the Steelers no matter who the quarterback is. I mean, no matter what bums they put up there at the QB position, Pearl been rocking out with them. So now that they got, and don't get me wrong, we know Aaron Rodgers is at the end of the line, but he's still legit, especially on this game. You know, and they traded for Jalen Ramsey. So Steelers made some good moves this offseason. So for me to be like, all of a sudden now give the Steelers to somebody else, I think that's kind of whack. Because Pearl was playing with the Steelers no matter who the quarterback was, you know, and making it work to the best of his ability. So it's like, I can't now look at, because they made dope moves, and be like, yeah, nah, I got to give them to somebody else. Pearl, nah, I can't do that. You know, so I'll keep stuff like that in mind as well. But yeah, listen, that Parsons trade, I was surprised. I was surprised only because I thought Jerry Jones was just, you know, he still had Parsons for like 3 years. So he didn't even have to trade him. So I thought it was going to come down to that. I thought it was going to be one of them situations where if Parsons don't show up, it's like, all right, dude, you ain't playing. You about to get these fines. I thought it was going to play out like that, only because he still was under contract. So I didn't think he actually was going to trade him, you know. And I mean, I can't lie. It wasn't like they got 2 firsts and they got Kenny Clark, a good defensive tackle, you know. So I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, you look at guys like Parsons and you be like, yo, how could you trade him? But man, trust me, if the Cowboys hit home runs with them 2 picks, ain't nobody gonna be caring about the Parsons trade no more. You know, I mean, yeah, but it ain't the same division, though. It's not like they traded him to the Eagles or the Giants or even the Commanders. You know what I mean? Because the division team, you gotta play twice a year. You know, they traded him to the Packers. I mean, yeah, but, you know, at the end of the day, that only tells you that the Packers made the best offer. Because if it was up to them, I'm pretty sure they would have liked to trade him to the AFC. But any team that wanted him in AFC probably wasn't giving him what he wanted. You know, but the thing is, though, the funny thing is they play the Packers week 4. So that's going to be very interesting game to check out. Cowboys play the Packers week 4. I don't know if it's like Green Bay or Dallas, but I know they play week 4. You know, so what a coincidence, right? But yeah, man, you know, I got these rosters up here, just checking out these rosters, you know. Yeah, listen, Parsons definitely, you know what I'm saying, could do that. But, you know, listen, man, it be so much stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't know, you know what I'm saying, whether it's your agent getting in your ear, you know, it be all type of stuff, you know, that be going down that we're not privy to. So you know, listen, man, at the end of the day, if the Cowboys, like I said, if they hit 2 home runs with them picks, nobody even going to be thinking about the trade. But it's funny, though, Dallas is the team in both sports that made these trades that had the whole industry talking. Mavericks traded, what's his name? I can't even think of his name. From the Mavericks that went to the Lakers. Man, y'all know who I'm talking about. The dude that was on the Mavericks, that went to the Lakers. Dallas traded Luka, right? Luka. Dallas traded Luka, and now the Cowboys traded Parsons. So it's like Dallas is just over there. They trading their best players. So that's just funny that Dallas talking to town for 2 separate sports. I think that's funny. But yeah, man, I'm just, I was going through these rosters, looking at different things. You got your little QB that needs some work over here. Justin Fields. He's fast, but he ain't too far from being Anthony Richardson. They kind of in that same boat. As far as like number wise, like they both got an arm, but they ain't really got that accuracy like that. They got the speed, but their awareness and stuff like that is terrible. So you got some work to do with them Jets. E-double. Packers, man, Jordan Love, 83. I mean, they got weapons, man. Like I say, Packers definitely was legit. Nah, we didn't do the teams yet. I'm gonna start writing the teams down this weekend and seeing what's what as far as where I'm gonna be placing people. I know one thing, nigga, the Packers got a lot of speed at the receiver. I ain't even know that they had all this speed. They got Watson, Hardman, Reed. They got some speed. For sure. Yeah, see, they got Rashawn Gary at one end, and they're going to have Parsons at the other end. Kenny Clark, that was their best DT, but they shipping him out. Oh, Hardman was released? Oh, okay. That's one speedster down. I mean, Green Bay definitely got a good team. I ain't gonna hold you. But wait a minute, where's what happened to that fast cornerback they had? What was his name? Where he at? Why I don't see him on the roster? You know what I'm talking about? They had a fast cornerback. What is he, free safety now or something? No, he not. What happened to that cornerback Green Bay had? Stokes. Yeah, what happened to Stokes? They cut him? Or he a free agent? Oh, wow. Were he a free agent? Oh, I ain't even know that. Yeah, he a cornerback. Yeah, Stokes. I remember him, but man, they cut him? Wow. Oh, okay. He in free agency, huh? Interesting. Wow, they cut him. I thought they would have kept him around. I guess they felt like he ain't have nothing but speed. Dude's gonna be thirsty for him. When it's time to sign free agents, I don't know who else is in free agent list, but if Stokes is there, you're gonna you're gonna have dudes there like just on some old drooling to sign somebody like him. Oh, Stokes on the Raiders? Oh wow, you're right. Oh, okay. Oh, I ain't even know that. Okay. Yo, believe it or not, the Raiders is on a lot of people's lists. Would y'all have predicted that? I wouldn't have. But looking at these cornerbacks, you know how it is. You know, when it comes to Madden, everybody look at speed. You know, so that speed is what dudes be looking at, you know, and speed is great, but it ain't everything. You know, it ain't everything. But it's definitely good to have. But, you know, when you look at these Raiders, they look like they got some fast linebackers too, I see. What that O-line looking like? Let me see. What that O-line looking like? Ain't looking like too much. O-line ain't looking like too much. Now, O-line is decent. But, they got a stud at tight end. Okay, I mean, yeah, I can see why Raiders is being highly recruited. Like I said, there are quite a few people who got their Raiders on their list. But yeah, we looking to start. I'm gonna say with about 2 weeks. I say about 2 weeks. By that time, the updated rosters will be out because the NFL, the season kick off next Thursday, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think the season kick off next week. So yeah, the rosters will definitely be updated. And yeah, like Josh said, by like week 2, week 3, we ready to rock, you know. So, but you guys will know what teams y'all have. Y'all will know what teams y'all gonna have. I'm gonna say a few days, to be honest with you, you know. And again, whoever you got, you know, listen, if you could work out a trade with somebody to switch teams, you more than welcome. You know, you could do whatever you want to do. Just because you get a team don't mean you stuck with that team. You know, you can definitely, you know what? You know who I'm looking at low key? I'm just going to share that with y'all. I'm actually looking at the Patriots low key, believe it or not. You know, believe it or not. I know it's a task. I know it's a you know, building blocks, but I ain't going front though. Like, they got a couple of pieces over there that, you know, starting with the quarterback. You know, Drake May, he definitely got some numbers over there that I feel like, all right, cool. You could do some damage with him. You know, but I'm definitely looking at the Pats low key. Yeah, the Bucks. The Bucks is another team that's on a lot of people's list. You know? Yeah, the Pats need work, but at the end of the day, you know, that's what franchise is for. Like, I always tell guys, don't necessarily get caught up with what they have right now, right? That's why I always say it's important to know what you like, you know, what you value, and what your scheme is. Because if you pick a team that, you know, you like, yo, man, they need work. Yeah, a lot of teams need work, but you got to have a starting point. What's your starting point? So my starting point with the Patriots would be, All right, cool. They got a good young quarterback in May. They got a good young cornerback in Gonzalez, and they got a good young running back. All right, cool. Let's put pieces around that. You know, we got a good shutdown corner over here, Gonzalez. Now let's get us a pass rusher. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you got to start from somewhere. You can't always look at the finished product. There's no finished product when you're starting out. You're going to have to build. You're going to have to put some pieces around. You know, that's what the draft is for. That's what free agency is for, you know? So I just tell people, like, yo, man, just look at what it is you like to do. If you somebody that likes going to the tight end, then look for a team with a tight end, regardless of what they got going on. Just what it is you like to do, you know. But yeah, the Pats, I've been kind of looking at the Pats, man. You know what I mean? Like, checking them out. Like, yo, they kind of got some things to work with over there. I ain't even gonna hold you. You know, they need work, but you know, it's workable. It's workable, you know. But yeah, y'all, like I said, in a few days, y'all will know what teams you have. You know, I'm not gonna drag that out. You know, even if we start in 2 to 3 weeks, you know, you still, at least you can know who you got, and then you could just start working on your art. You know what I mean, with that team, whether you playing head-to-head matches or whatever the case may be, or you know what I mean, online, or you playing people from the league. Just, you know, you know your team, then it's like, all right, you might as well start working out with them. You know, so I'm definitely going to give y'all the courtesy to know that. So that's why I say this weekend I'm going to start writing it down, and it shouldn't. Once I start writing, it shouldn't take that long. I'm just trying to gather up all the people that I need. And right now we are at 32 users. So we have 32 users right now at the moment. And once I start writing and putting things together, you know, we'll see what happens after that. Somebody might drop out because they don't like their team or whatever. Or again, like I say, if you feel like you want to switch with somebody and somebody's willing to switch, you more than welcome. You know, it ain't no, yo, once you get a team, you got to stay with them. Like, who cares about that? You know, you do what you want to do, you know? But yeah, I'm definitely, I haven't played the user yet. You know, I know I'm behind. I know there's a few other y'all like that, you know, but I definitely haven't played the user yet. You know, I just been like, when I had time, I just been getting on, just, you know, seeing how the game feel, how I play, you know, different things like that, getting used to the gameplay, getting used to the timing, you know, because every game is always going to feel a little different from the previous one. So I'm just working on different stuff. Right, when I do play the computer, obviously I'm not really playing to win. I don't care about winning. It's just me just seeing, you know, all right, cool, I'm getting accustomed to doing this, doing that. You know, just working out. You know, but I haven't played the user yet, so, but I'll get there. I'll definitely get there. But, oh yeah, too, I didn't forget. Last Madden, I said, everybody that won the bowl and wit, I'm gonna get you a shirt done. You know, it's gonna be from my clothing brand. You know, but it's gonna say Super Bowl champ, whatever it takes, Madden 25 season, whatever. Now, obviously, I don't remember all the guys that won the bowl and wit, so. For everybody, I'm gonna go at it too, for just in case whoever won the bowl is not on this live right now. I'm gonna go at it in the chat. You know, if you won a bowl, you know, send me a DM. Send me a DM, and you know, we'll keep note of that, and you know, start working on that. But yeah, you know, I didn't forget that I said that. Yeah, everybody that won the bowling with, you know, you send me a DM. You know, if you remember what season it was, let me know that. You know, I'll remember the team once you tell me, you know, send me a message. And then yeah, you know, we'll start working on that shirt, you know. I wanted to do Madden Awards from Madden 25, but I've been mad busy with this brand that I haven't had time to do any of that, you know. Josh, I don't think you want to bowl in I think you want to bowl in AGS. Are we doing both leagues this year? Well, that depends on y'all. You know, that depends on y'all. What you did? Come on. That depends on y'all if we doing 2 leagues. You know, again, I move by, you know, the beat of y'all drums. You know, if I feel like y'all ready for a second league, then we'll do a second league, you know. But there's no sense for me saying I'm gonna do a second league and, you know, we don't get the players. But I mean, me personally, I always like 2 leagues. I like playing with 2 different teams, you know, so I actually enjoy that. You know, that's just my personal preference. But if we don't get 2 leagues, you know, we don't get 2 leagues. But I would like to do 2 leagues like we've been doing. But, you know, it depends on y'all. At the end of the day, it all boils down to y'all. You know, like I said, for me, I like playing with 2 different teams. But yeah, I got some work to do. You know, I got some work to do. I gotta practice, get my timing together. My timing ain't really there with the one-on-one jump ball. You know, a couple of times well, I ain't gonna say a couple of times, computers housing me more times than not. So I definitely gotta work on that. I definitely gotta work on that, but we'll get there. But yeah, as y'all see with this new Madden too, you see they got the weekly recaps, so you know I'm going to incorporate that in the 5th quarter. When you say change the settings in the, for the passing game, what you mean by that? 'Cause I don't change no settings. What settings you talking about? Are you talking about like placement and accuracy, classic, revamp, passing, and placement? You talking about that? You talking about those settings? But yeah, to me, I mean, I don't know. I just think it all depends on what you more comfortable with. I mean, because revamp passing was on Madden 25, you know, but I guarantee you everybody played with something different. You got guys that play with placement and accuracy. You got guys that play with placement, and you got guys that play with revamped. I don't really think nobody using classic. I mean, you never know. I don't think nobody using classic, but, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if you do have guys using classic. But everybody play with a different pass setting. I don't know. To me, I couldn't even tell you what the best one is and why. You know, I just feel like whatever one you feel like you play the best with at the end of the day, you know, you have your own reasons. Because I'm pretty sure right now you'll get a guy that say revamp is the best, and then you have somebody else that say placement and accuracy is the best. And, you know, y'all both going to have reasons to feel that way. But again, if it works for you, then yeah, then you're supposed to run with that. You know, for me, I was playing with placement, and I just started practicing with revamped. For me, what I like about the revamp passing is that you get more you get more arc on the ball, meaning like you can get that ball over them linebackers or whomever head you need to, you know. So I've been practicing with that. I kind of like the way that I feel. You know, right, as in right now, I couldn't, if the league started tomorrow, I couldn't tell you which passing set I'm going to use. You know, I just wouldn't have an answer for you. It probably would go game to game for me. Week 1 would probably be one setting, and week 2 would probably be something else. And whichever one I felt like I played the best with, that's the one I'll go with on in week 3. You know, the beauty of the league not starting right now is that you got nothing but time to make all the necessary changes you need to make, you know, and take the opportunity to make the changes. Find out what your pass setting going to be. You know, everybody going to have their own reason for using something different, you know, so I'm just happy that they gave yeah, bro. I definitely was going at them Cowboys with them Eagles. You know what I mean? I enjoyed playing the Cowboys. We had some battles last Madden. I ain't gonna hold you. We definitely had some battles. But yeah, whatever setting is easier for you. I'm just glad that you guys got the option. You know, I would hate if they had it to where, yeah, that division was tough. I ain't gonna hold you. That division was tough. I would hate that they would have it where the commissioner got to set the passing settings for the league. I think that would be so whack. So I'm glad that everybody can pick their own setting, you know. But I am curious though. I would be curious to know what guys use, you know. And everybody, and no matter what somebody pick, they're gonna have their reason for it, you know. Look at these Bucks. The Bucks is on a lot of teams' list, though. I just want to see. Let me start from Baker. You know they got good old Baker over there. Josh, you don't use no classic. Knock it off. And I know you don't use classic because I remember how some of them throws you was getting in there. You wouldn't be able to get some of those throws in on classic. I mean, as in right now, the Bucks look alright. I mean, I'm not really seeing nothing that leaps out. Oh, they got a dope left tackle, that's for sure. The O-line is average. I don't know. Listen, when I tell you I've seen the Bucks on quite a few people's lists, I kid you not. So I'm just looking at it just to see what it is that, you know, they must got some nice cornerbacks over there or something, because I still haven't seen nothing yet that makes me feel like, you know, yeah, I don't know. I can't call it. But they definitely got pieces over there that you can work with, though. I kid you not. They definitely got pieces over there that you can work with, so I get that. Yeah, linebacker is definitely solid. As I said, they got pieces over there to work with. And to be honest with you, this is my first time looking at the Cardinals roster. So while I'm on this live, I might literally look at this team and be like, oh, add them to my list. This is my first time looking at their roster. I have never looked at Arizona. What are you talking about, Josh? I've never looked at the Cardinals roster. It's my first time looking at them. I ain't gonna front. Nice tight end, number one receiver, nice young rookie running back. Kyler, you know, you could twerk with Kyler. What that old line looking like? Not bad, not bad. Not bad, not bad, not bad old line at all. And you know what's so funny? I don't recall seeing the Cardinals on nobody's list. And I sit here now and I'm looking at this roster and it's like, yo, y'all kind of sleeping a little bit. Like, Arizona ain't horrible, man. Y'all kind of tripping. Oh, they got the linebacker that was on the Bengals. Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. Cardinals low key got a little team over here. Yo, nobody got the Cards, yo. I haven't seen the Cards on nobody's list. And this is my first time looking at this roster, and I'm not gonna lie to you. This roster ain't bad at all. I kid you not. Yo, oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Yo, let me look at the roster again. Yo, the Cards is yo, y'all sleeping. Hold on. They got Kyler. They got a good young running back, Benson. You know about Harrison Jr. You know, I mean, yeah, that's looking like the only receiver right now at the moment. But these other guys, they suitable for a season. You know, listen, you can draft a wide receiver and stuff like that. They got a nice, dope tight end. The offensive line, ain't terrible. I mean, it ain't the greatest, but it ain't terrible. You got three guys on here that's good. You got one that's terrible, one that's average. So the O-line is actually okay. One guy is 69, that's it. They got a edge rusher over here, you know, 74. Then they got a 76 overall edge rusher. You got Sweat over there on the other side. They got a young, nice defensive tackle, Nolan. Oh man, I listen. Y'all don't know how valuable it is to have a DT that weighed 300 pounds with 81 speed. That means homie is real athletic. Josh, you was using Classic all that time. I mean, you was killing it with Classic then, because I never would have thought. I never knew you was using Classic. I would have thought you was using the other ones. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. The Cardinals. The Cardinals is man. The Cardinals is alright, yo. Word. The Cardinals is alright. I'm officially gonna go out on a limb right now and say the Cardinals is added to my list. Yeah, that was strength, bro. That DT wasn't no 87 speed. That was strength. But yeah, man, listen, anytime you see a defensive tackle, 300 pounds, 81 speed, yo, man, you ain't gonna see that too much. Let me tell you. You understand? That's any 77 overall and he a rookie. He about to be legit. In my eyes, he already legit. 77 overall, only 21, 81 speed, 87 strength. Man, that's a good defensive tackle right there. Yo, Cardinals officially on my list. You heard it here live. I never looked at this roster before. This is my first time looking at their roster. And I'm telling you, they got some pieces over here that you definitely could work with. 6'2" rookie. Yeah, he only got 89 speed. But, you know, you can build that. You can work on that. You know what I'm saying? You can work on that. You know? Yeah, they do. I ain't gonna front. Now that you mention that, they definitely spoke about that, saying that, and they also was saying the height of your quarterback matters. You know, the shorter the quarterback, in this case, Kyler Murray, yeah, he will be getting a lot of balls swatted, pause, in back of that O line, more than somebody who was taller than him. And that has been happening. So yeah, I ain't gonna front. That's football though, man. Like I'm all about what's football, man. If it's in the game, then put it in the game on here. You know, there are definitely balls that get swatted down at the line in the NFL. So I'm all for it. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna hold you. The Cards is alright. Word. The Cards is alright. They definitely got a team that you can get out here and build around. No lie. You know who else got a good roster? The Seahawks. I looked at their roster. They got a good roster too. Yeah, we know nobody gonna be crazy about Sam Darnold, but again, we play franchise. It's called franchise for a reason. You ain't got to worry about what they got right now. You look at what they got right now, and you look at, you know, what you can add under your watch. You know, but Seahawks got a nice little roster too. It's some teams over here scattered around, man. You just gotta do diligence and just look and just, you know, dive into it and see what's what. That's another team roster I didn't look at. I didn't look at the Dolphins roster neither. So yeah, they might low key have a nice little situation going on over there too. Yeah, I didn't look at the Dolphins roster neither. I'm gonna check out their roster after this and see what that roster looking like. But what's up? Any of y'all cop that 2K26? Any of y'all on that wave? You know how some of y'all dudes be with the inner park stuff and all of that. Anybody cop that 26? I know if you pre-ordered one of them $100 editions, the game is out today. You can play today. The early release. You got 2K. What that 2K looking like, bro? From what I've been seeing, it looked like it's a little faster, you know, than last year's version. Yeah, Seahawks roster is alright too. Word. So with the speed up, what does that mean for the defense? Is it harder to play defense, or the defense is able to catch up with the offense? Because if the game is faster, I mean, like I said, does that hurt the defense, or everything feels like, you know, everything just feels the same right now? You able to play D? Or because it's faster, that it makes it harder to play D? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I like Seattle roster too, man. It's gonna be interesting to see, you know, who ends up where, because there are some teams, man. There are some teams to look around and you know. Oh, Weatherspoon is a superstar now? Wow. Oh, okay. Copy. Oh, Wooten is a superstar too? Oh, wow. I looked at the roster, but I ain't know both of them were superstar. Man, they got two dope cornerbacks. Seahawks got a nice team too, man. Word. Man. Man. You said Dolphins, right? Let me go see what the Dolphins roster looking like. Oh, to a superstar, okay. Oh man, Hachi got 96 speed. This dude's still one of the fastest running backs in the game. Then they got a young boy, young pup back there who's fast with him. Man, they got two good fast running backs. They still got, yeah, the Lions got a good team. I looked at their roster, so I definitely seen what they got over there. Oh, they got Seattle middle linebacker Brooks. I think he was on Seattle last year, if I'm not mistaken. That's nice. It's a nice pickup. Oh, they ain't got no cornerbacks. Oh, never mind. That cornerbacks is on the bench. Who this guy? Never heard of him. But nah, Miami definitely got some pieces to work with too. Look, man, again, we got nothing but time. So for all y'all that put your list together, if you want to revise your list, you more than welcome to. You know, you ain't gotta hold yourself to nothing. You know, the same way I'm on here looking at these rosters now, is the same way y'all can do it as well. And then, you know, you feel like you want to add somebody, swap somebody, hey, you more than, you know, go ahead, knock yourself out. You know, because I'm telling you right now, I don't have a team. I'm gonna be looking at different teams. Teams I'm looking at today, I might not be looking at tomorrow. I might have somebody else new. You know, who knows? Things is happening. Guys, listen. Now the preseason is about to be done because the league's starting. You about to see some names get cut that you be like, you're gonna be tripping. You're gonna be like, whoa, they cut him. Happens every year. So these rosters we see now, trust me, there will be some guys that's gonna get cut that we didn't see coming. So, you know, give yourself some time to play with. But meantime, between time, just go look at the rosters and just get an idea which route you want to go. I kind of like the Falcons roster too. Yeah, free agency definitely gonna have some names. Trust me, there's gonna be some guys that's gonna get cut, and then that's gonna make free agency even more attractive. Oh man. But yeah, like I said, I ain't gonna keep y'all, you know, I just wanted to tap in, you know, see what's going on with y'all. It's been a minute since I jumped on here, and I just wanted to let y'all know about you know, the teams. What I'm really trying to make sure I put these divisions together to be competitive. So that's what I'm focused on more than anything. And then, oh yeah, another thing. For you guys that's using Twitch, if you don't have your settings together to where is that the game stays, man, listen, you can, I'm only saying this now. I'm not saying this again. I mean, everybody know what's what by now. You know, 95% of y'all, I'm gonna even go higher than that. 100% of y'all that's in this league know how we do over here with the league as far as what we expect and things like that. And the biggest thing we expect is for the broadcast. And again, man, the broadcast is important so we can go and check back something if somebody get called out about something. If somebody went for it when they should have punted, stuff like that. But if you don't got no cast up there, you now putting us in a situation where we can't even call a spade a spade. So again, man, if you got Twitch, if you insist on using Twitch, which I don't know why you just don't use YouTube, but if you insist on using Twitch, update your settings, man, to where that the game will be able to still be on the history. Again, week 1, I'm coming out the gate. If your settings ain't updated on Twitch, meaning like after the game it disappears, you are getting penalized out the gate week 1. It ain't no I'm giving you to week 6 or nothing like that, or week 5 out the gate. Some of you guys was getting penalized a lot last year, and I don't even think I even realized it. You know, I just didn't make no more announcements about it. I just kept going to your roster and I kept turning guys down. You know, because like, come on, man, I shouldn't have to keep saying the same thing over and over. Like, it's not that hard. You know, fix the settings if you insist on using Twitch. You know, but yeah, man. So again, I am not going to be getting up here talking about, you know, broadcasting. We all know what time it is when it comes to broadcasting. So if your broadcasting game ain't up to par, listen, we start in week 1. You will be getting penalized. Trust me when I tell you. Yes, you will be able to go to the edit screen and see it's going to say, why not edited this player? And trust me, I did not boost them up. I knocked them down. I'm telling you that right now. So again, I'm going to say this again when I do the 5th quarter for the first week of the season, you know, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I'm going to give you one last courtesy to let you know what I'm going to be doing each and every week. Not once in a while. Each and every week, your player will lose some points, or it don't even have to be the same player. It could be somebody different. So again, man, it's not hard to do. Update your settings, get your broadcast fixed if you insist on using Twitch, and that's it, man. And again, like I said, the game, they got the weekly recap. So yes, I'm going to incorporate that in the 5th quarter. I'm not gonna ignore that. I think them having the weekly recap is dope. I think them having a halftime show is dope. So yeah, how can we not include that? I'm definitely going to include that in the 5th quarter. So yeah, we're going to let that weekly recap rock. And, you know, we're going to hear what they're talking about, and we're going to add on to what they're talking about by, you know, doing the predictions and things like that we do day to day. But them having the weekly recap just adds even more to the league. So looking forward to it, man. I think this is going to be another dope year that we're going to have, another competitive year. I'm looking to see who's going to be the team to turn the corner this year. Every year there's always somebody that got better and turned the corner. Last year, I could tell you right now, it was my guy, Carolina Blue Mo. Carolina Blue Mo was the guy that turned the corner last year. Carolina Blue Mo was taking out guys that you know, that was on top of their game. Big Mo was repping with them Panthers, and he was doing it with the Panthers. I got nothing but respect for guys like Mo, because when he first joined the league, I think when he first joined the league, he had the Giants, and he was getting beat like a piñata. Man, Carolina Mo came back, stepped his game up, and now he's one of the big dogs in the league. So I'm looking to see who steps up this year and becomes what Carolina Mo did last year. You know, I'm here for it. I'm here to see it. But I do know that there will be somebody that turned the corner this year, and there will be somebody that took a step back. That's just what it is. You know, but this is the first 5th quarter of this Madden era. We're going to get back in the swing of things. You know, Norm wasn't even playing with us last year. He ended up not playing. He played like 1 season, maybe 2. But yeah, Carolina. Oh yeah, Dre. Yeah, Dre. Yeah, Dre stepped up, but Dre was already solid though. You know, Jay was very solid, but Carolina Blue Mo is the guy that I feel like, you know, was taking out whomever. Like, he had some nice wins. He had some nice wins under his belt, man. So Carolina Blue Mo definitely had them Panthers, and he's doing it with the Panthers too. You know, that was even more impressive. He was doing it with the Panthers. You know, a team that nobody checked for, but you know that's his squad in real life. So he rock out with them, and he do a good job. You know, he do a good job. Matter of fact, let me look at the Panthers rosters for you, Carolina Blue Mo. I mean, I know you already did, but let me see what they got over there. Bryce Young definitely improved last season. So, you know, I'm happy to see that he moved up to 75. You know, this dude Hubbard, he got better. I see his overall improved. All right, they got some pieces over here to work with, man. Oh yeah, they got a nice little. Oh, they O-line. Hold on. Oh, the Panthers O-line is legit. They got nothing but 80s across the board. Oh, you live, Mo. I mean, he's a 75, but a 75 is good, man. A 75 ain't no 65. 75 is a 75. Yeah, they O-line is solid though, bro. You know, their O-line is solid across the board. You got nothing but 80s, and you got 175. Their O-line is good. So after the first season, you know that's one thing you ain't really got paid. That's nothing that you got need to replace right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's good. Word. Yeah, they got holes just like anybody else, but you definitely got some building blocks over here. I ain't even gonna hold you. You definitely got some building blocks. Carolina Blue Mo, watch out for Carolina Blue Mo once again. Them Panthers, this roster is looking better right now than what it did last Madden, and he was popping with them last Madden. So we're gonna look out for Carolina Blue Mo with them Panthers. But yeah, man, like I said, I ain't gonna hold you. I just had to tap in with y'all. Again, you can revise your list if you want. It's cool. You know, I will be putting the pen to the pad this weekend, starting to write down and maneuver, play with some you know, with the names as far as divisions, because we ain't trying to have one conference loaded against the other, and we ain't trying to have, you know, the division, you know, soft, whereas, you know what I mean, it was no competition in neither. So it takes some work to do, but it's the same every year. So we'll get it done. But until next time, I'll catch up with y'all on the next fifth. I'm Ghost.